So right now, the US is in a big cultural decay. And by no means am I somebody that knows everything and knows all, but I'm good at observing, looking at trends, kind of being very critical about thinking about what's happening, right? I always encourage people to learn how to think and not what to think. Because right now in the media, we're being told what to think, how to react, and what we should do about it, okay? What I'm referring to specifically are the two most relevant smoke and mirror events that have happened recently. One of which is the Palestine-Israel conflict from about 2 weeks ago that's been dragged out now. And then we have the mass shooting in Maine, which happened unfortunately yesterday. And by no means am I saying that those events are good. They are terrible events. They are acts of evil. They are satanic in nature, from wanting to cause harm and destruction among innocent, women and children and civilians of Israel, Palestine, and then back home in the United States in Maine. It's terrible. It's awful. But the media, they take this stuff, they pull at the heartstrings of people who have good intentions. They have good, big hearts. They want to help. People get emotional. People are opinionated. And sometimes people just don't even know what they're supporting. They're just getting angry because were told to get angry. They get fed a piece of the story, but not the whole story. And they think they know what they're talking about, and they just start talking. I'm not saying what's right and wrong. I'm just observing and seeing that there are much bigger issues in America than what we are currently being told is the biggest issue of the day, where people will get hyper sensationalized, hyper emotional for a very short period of time, whether it's a couple days or even a month or so, right? A lot of this stuff will blow off. For example, what was in the media a few months ago was, or maybe even the past year, was Ukraine, the war in Ukraine, the war in Ukraine. This is the most important thing. Look at this, look at that. Okay, we'll sprinkle in a mass shooting. We'll sprinkle in the school shootings. Again, horrible events. But if you look at it on a grand scheme of things, what's actually affecting the country, right? We look at illegal immigration. We look at the economy, how everybody's affected monetarily. That is very important. Crime rates are increasing. That's important. Your entire area should be safe. You should be able to go walk freely in America and not think about getting shot or stabbed or mugged, right? The cities are in ruins. Things are destroying. People are fleeing the cities because it's been so bad, okay? Those things are much more important in terms of the millions of people that it affects versus the Palestine-Israel war, which is a very small portion of the population, and then mass shootings. It affects, again, very small portion of the population. Nobody ever wants to talk about, the media never promotes how all these pharmaceutical companies are pushing drugs that are killing people. The addictions, heroin, this fentanyl, like everything that's crossing the border that's literally killing hundreds of thousands of people. Nobody ever wants to talk about obesity and all the food that we eat that is crappy and full of poison. Nobody wants to talk about that. Those are the bigger issues if you look at the grand scheme of the millions and millions of Americans that it affects. But we are being told by the media, this is what you need to focus on, this is what's important, and this is what you should get all of your attention and emotion on. So all the other stuff that's actually happening in the country that the media doesn't want you to pay attention to is what you are paying attention to. Nobody wants to talk about the Biden crime family. Nobody wants to talk about the money laundering and the Ukraine war. Like, nobody cares about that stuff. It all gets pushed under the rug because it's the next thing. The Palestinian-Israel war, unfortunately, is just the next thing that guides our attention. This shooting is the next thing, right? We go from foreign war to now gun control. There will probably be something with, women's rights that comes up in the next month. There'll probably be something with BLM or some type of racism, something with, the Proud Boys, something with Trump. There will be something in the media for the next year because we are coming up on an election cycle where you will see mass disinformation. You will see mass amounts of smoke and mirrors on what to think and how to react. And people will be hyper emotional about stuff that they may or may not understand. Again, I don't understand a lot, but I look at this stuff and it's the same thing from 4 years ago. You're going to see a shooting. You're going to see, again, some type of riots, which you're seeing with Palestine-Israel. You're going to see people pissed off who have a strong ideology and belief in their side because their side's affected. And we are very, very good at picking a side and wedging ourselves in and sticking to what we know, right? I'm very pro-America. I love America. This is the best country in the world. It's the best soil, the best opportunity. America was originally founded on the idea of freedom. We do not want to live under tyranny. We were getting away from rulers and dictators and communists. But what we're seeing in America now today is a full-fledged assault of communism. If you read anything about the Communist Manifesto or Agenda 1, Agenda 2, you'll see that this is all part of the process. They want you to be poor, they want you to be weak, they want you to be fat, because you're easier to control. So my message to you is this: do not be easy to control. Be physically fit. Do your best to become financially free. Pay attention. Have your values in check. Have your family in order. Use 2A to protect yourself. Listen, have good, strong family and friends that you can trust. Those are my best words to you as an American to another. Because right now, the country is not headed on the right path. And it is our responsibility and duty to make the corrections and put the country back in place where America should be on the trajectory of what America was founded on. And that only starts with ourselves. Because if we can get ourselves in order, then we can get our family in order. If you can get your family in order, you can get your friends, your neighbors, your community, your other family members in order. And then in one generation's time, we're back on track. It's going to take a lot, but it's possible. But you have to understand that what we're being told on the media, for the majority, is a big lie. And what we are told to get hyper emotional about and sensationalized about is not actually that important. I am pro-America. That's how it should be. We need to fix our own problems before we go over to other countries and send billions of dollars that way. I'm sorry. It's blunt. Kind of sucks. It doesn't feel good to say, but it's true. It's what needs to happen. We have to fix America first before we can go be the hero for everyone else. Thank you guys for watching this episode. As always, peace. Much love.